So, I gotta tell you this. Like, where we are now, we're in LA. You know, like, I'm from Compton, like, you know, like, I'm not a stereotype, but, like, we really don't hear enough praise in our environments. You know, we hear all day, like, you're not gonna be shit, this is that, you're just like, you know, some da-da-da-da-da. You know, we hear so much negativity. We don't hear enough, like, good job, young man, good job, young woman. I mean, in just being a youth in Compton, we all have something where it's like one of our parents are gone. Either your mom's on drugs, I mean, 9 times out of 10, your dad's just not around, or he's gone, or in my position, like, you know, you're bastardized by his murder situation. You know, it's numerous reasons in Compton for us to not really have role models, so we cling to sometimes trends or things that we do as outlets to kind of raise us. Krump raised me, and it literally took off right where my father left off.
What is Krump? I looked it up, and it says some street dance from Los Angeles, this and that, but I'm like, that ain't what I feel. So Krump is buck to me. So what is buck? The nickname for like riding a bull. You see the sporadic movement and it's uncontrollable, but you can see all the energy from it. The horses do it, and that's what we do. So when you see those sporadic stomp, those hard chest pops and arm thrusts, you come back and you take that deep breath in and you feel it, I know everybody else can feel it. They'll be like, wow, I don't know what that is, but it's real.
Dance will probably be one thing that can actually get me somewhere in life. It actually helps me be more free. Like, I'm like more social now. It helped me express like a lot of things I go through, like with the family members that passed away. Instead of like wanting to go fight somebody, you can go dance.
My brother, Brenden, he helps me to be a better dancer. He talks to me every time, like, about important stuff. He always be with me when I don't have nobody to talk with or nothing. The reason why I like dancing is because I get to teach people, I get to perform, travel around the world, and help me express feelings.
You go dance to express how somebody died, like how somebody passed away, then like, yeah, go Krump right now. Go think of one of your family members. You Krump, you gonna feel like all the emotions swinging everywhere. Like, you really don't care about anything else. Like your moves, you don't care about none of that. And if you think about your family members when you dancing, you just go all out. It brings the real Krump inside of you. That's what it is.
When I was crowded, I wasn't actually putting my life into dance, like who I was, my expression. I have a hard look already as it is. Like, I look stern. I just have an angry look to me. Not because I'm an angry person. I think it's just sometimes I wear my life on my face. But I was never comfortable expressing that. Like, I always hid that when I was clowning. But I was like, I think it's time to really start showing who we are. It's helped me say things that I can't say to people. Like, when you don't know your mom until you're a teenager, that's me. I haven't seen my father since I was 4. I have 2 pictures of him. One is in my room, and one is a mug shot on the internet. You have to put that somewhere. It's therapy sometimes. And we make the ugly part of our lives beautiful at that moment. We make it good. So we figured out how to turn like the evil that we experience into creativity. And I think that's the spiritual part about it. That's why it's spiritual for me, because I've done that. Because the type of life I've had, I would have been a different man if I didn't have Krump.
I think Krump was born out of poverty, struggle, trial and error. You know, a lot of people come to South Central and they get intimidated by what they see. You know, graffiti, a higher population of African Americans and Latino Americans. You become intimidated. You can read frustration in people's faces that are just coming to the pharmacy to pick up pharmaceuticals, you know? It's hard living here. And I think Krump symbolizes every piece of what we went through growing up in our neighborhood, from being chased by gangbangers, from being harassed by the police, for just being who we are and what we are. You know, it was one thing when we were dancing for Tommy the Clown, making other people laugh, but what about those days that you're going to do these birthday parties and you're not in the mood to make someone laugh because today you had to wake up to the gas being off, to the electricity being off, to opening the refrigerator and there only being a gallon of water, you know? You got kind of tired of having to put on this persona of being happy, and therefore Krump was birthed. It was about us going through the shit that we just couldn't control anymore. And I feel like that's what birthed Krump. Krump was birthed out of our reality.
I was already getting into stuff, but the things that could have happened to me didn't happen because I had a Krump session or I had to perform, so I couldn't. You know, I knew people that were in gangs. I knew people that sold drugs. I still do. But it always separated me. It was like, nah, Ches, you dance because you tight. So go dance. Don't do this with us. I remember my friends had guns. And they were just going to rob people. You don't have no money. What you do in the inner city? You rob people. And they had the guns. Like, you know how to load this? I'm like, no, teach me. One of my friends was like, no, don't teach Ches how to do that. He a dancer. You know, you got a life ahead of you. Don't do this. Don't get into this. I'm like, what you mean? Like, we all doing it. We all friends. Like, but you different from us. You know how to do something. We don't know how to do nothing. So it kind of separated me. And they, even though I wanted to get into the bad things, they didn't let me go full out. They didn't let me go hard.
I used to think it was normal to grow up the way I grew up. I thought it was like the regular, the norm. I see it now, like, dang, we was crazy. As a kid, I just held everything in. They always told us to be hard. I mean, oh, don't cry, you too tough. It came to a point where at a certain age, I had these anxiety attacks and I would just cry for no reason. I didn't even know like what was wrong, but I didn't have a real outlet to let out those emotions. So when I found Krump, I was able to do that. I can really go into the session right now and stand there and cry. And everybody thinks like, oh, that's just so buck, it's so crazy. So, I mean, I think that's where a lot of crime come from. It's not really being able to express yourself and let those feelings out. That's what I try to give the boys. It's like that opportunity to like, no, if you're gonna cry, cry. To like hold it in, no, you're supposed to let those emotions out. And then let's get past that and get to the next thing. It taught me a lot. I get when I see them is just as surprised as everybody else. I think it's a real God gift. It used to make me mad because I don't see them practice. Like, where y'all get this new material at? So that's my heart it be pumping like real fast. I feel like I just dance when I see them dance every time.
I come to a lot of Krump sessions and I see dancers and their story is so great. It's just like, wow. When they start to dance, I can tell what kind of day they've had. I can tell what's bothering them, if they're feeling good, if they're feeling bad. I can sense it all in their dance before they even say anything. You know, it's great. It's really, man.
I'm from Compton. It's murder all over the place. You kind of get numb to the murder situation or, you know, just going to somebody's funeral that you grew up with. But at this point in time, I'm 14, going on 15. One of my friends got killed, and my dad actually said at that funeral specifically, like, this is the last funeral that I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna be a part of. I don't wanna deal with this anymore. I don't wanna, like, you know, he kind of poured his heart out in that eulogy. And those words specifically, he said, this is the last funeral that I'm gonna go to. And ironically, the next funeral that everybody in that zone had to go to was his. Oh, he was killed. He was killed. They shot. He was in a backyard chilling with a few of my uncles, a few of my relatives. Pulled up next to the house, and the angle that they pulled up at, like you can kind of like see in the backyard from where they pulled up at. Pulled out the assault rifle or whatever, and they shot one time. And that one bullet, you can choose to believe this or not, boom. It hit my uncle, hit him in the nose. However it traveled down, that trajectory went down. My dad was standing right, maybe 2 people across from him. He got hit. In between 10 and 15 feet away from him, one of my boys that just got out of jail, he ended up getting hit with the same bullet, and it broke his arm. My uncle, you know, he shot in the head, so, oh, this guy's bleeding everywhere out his face. The attention was split in the yard, and one of my boys, rest in peace, he got killed by the police about 2-3 years ago. He was next to my dad. He sat down and he looked at my dad and said, "Man, Marv, this shit is crazy, huh?" And my dad didn't respond. I mean, I just get woke up out of my sleep like, mom's crying. It's like 3 and 4 in the morning. When I seen her like break down, she like, you know, I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but you know, your dad was murdered. At that point in time, it's like you can be a regular product of your environment, your average Comptonian that's just running the streets, shooting, killing, you feel me, robbing everything, and, you know, being this negative person. And mind you, I did do that for a point in time. But there was another option that was, you know, what if you channeled all of this emotion, or even a fraction of this emotion, into krump dancing, you know? If I didn't have it, I mean, I honestly know for a fact that I would be in the streets, continuing to gangbang, probably on drugs, if not selling drugs, or I would be dead in somebody's hole somewhere, you know, somebody's cemetery. That father presence, or that masculine presence that's kind of needed in a child's life, I got that from krump. I didn't get that from one person, I got that from the movement.
The biggest misconception about krump is that it's only a battle dance. It's only used to go up against an opponent. But the biggest opponent that we have in krump is ourselves. This is my life. I breathe this, Maceo. Like, every morning when I get up and I look at my kids, that's krump. Everything that I couldn't have, they will have. If I have to die for it, they'll have it, period.
It's intimidating because we came from an intimidating time. It was just the time period. But krump is an expression past your emotions. It has your emotions in it, and it has who you are and who you want to be in the future. So krump is all those things. And yes, it was born out of South Central, but it doesn't stop there.